At the will reading, my parents laughed as they handed my sister $6.9 million. Me? They gave me $1 and said, go make your own way. My mom smirked. Some kids just don't live up to expectations. My heart shattered, then burned with a cold fury as my parents laughed, handing my sister a check for nearly $7 million. Me? They gave me a single dollar, a dismissive smirk, and told me to go earn my own. But then the lawyer read Grandpa's final letter, and my mother's screams echoed through the silent room. I was 28, sitting in that sterile lawyer's office, watching my sister, Caroline, beam as she received $6.9 million. And me? One measly dollar. My grandfather, Maxwell, had been my hero, my confidant, my biggest supporter. So why on earth did he leave me with just $1 and this mysterious, sealed envelope? The hurt in my chest was a physical ache. But there was also a strange glint in his attorney's eye, a hint that something wasn't adding up. Growing up in our middle-class suburban home outside Boston, everything seemed normal on the surface. Our house wasn't the biggest, but my parents, Richard and Elizabeth Riley, made sure we always had the latest gadgets and wore the right brands. Appearances, you see, were everything to them. My sister, Caroline, 3 years my senior, was always the golden child. She was beautiful, sociable, and most importantly to my parents, practical. She followed their blueprint perfectly: prestigious business school, perfect posture, a flawless smile, the ideal future executive wife. Every family gathering was essentially a detailed update on Caroline's latest accomplishments, each one met with beaming pride from my parents. Then there was me. From a young age, I was drawn to science, especially environmental conservation. While Caroline was working country club events, I spent my weekends volunteering at wildlife rehabilitation centers or joining beach cleanups. My passion was met with thinly veiled disappointment from my parents. Environmental science won't pay for the lifestyle you're accustomed to, Amanda, my mother would say, dismissing me with a wave of her perfectly manicured hand. Caroline understands the importance of stability. But there was one person who saw me differently, my grandfather, Maxwell. He was a retired investment banker with sharp eyes that missed nothing. Grandpa Maxwell was unconventional in our status-conscious family. He'd made his fortune through smart investments, but lived modestly and gave generously to causes he believed in. He wore the same worn leather watch, despite my mother's frequent attempts to buy him something more appropriate. The true value of something isn't in its price tag, Mandy, he'd tell me, using the nickname only he was allowed to use. It's in the purpose it serves. During summer breaks from college, I'd visit his lake house in the Berkshires. While my parents and Caroline vacationed in European capitals, Grandpa and I would sit on his dock, fishing and talking about everything from climate change to philosophy. He never once made me feel like my interests were impractical or disappointing. The world needs more people who care about its future than its stock market, he'd say. Your passion has purpose, Mandy. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Family gatherings were a different story. Our Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners felt more like performance reviews than celebrations. My mother would orchestrate everything to perfection, from the table settings to the carefully curated conversations designed to highlight Caroline's achievements. Caroline just secured a summer internship at Goldman Sachs, my mother would announce, serving pie with a triumphant smile. Then would come the inevitable pivot to me. Amanda is still exploring her options, she'd say with a tight smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. My father, a corporate attorney with perpetually furrowed brows, would chime in with practical advice that always felt more like criticism. There's no money in saving trees, Amanda. It's time to think about your future realistically. Full story on channel, link below. Watch what happened next.